Right now is our good friend, Dennis Horton. He's the director of the Rockford Regional Office of the Better Business Bureau. Dennis, good morning.
Good morning, Riley.
How's everything going with you this morning?
Great. It's a beautiful morning.
Yeah, it's not many election days that one looks out the window and doesn't see rain, sleet, snow, heavy wind, something along those lines. You've got a day that is just perfect for it.
Right. Election day is the one thing that I miss from the media. I really enjoyed Election Day and producing election coverage. The craziness and the nerve-wracking and the down-to-the-wire things absolutely energized me. I missed that, and that's the only thing.
I was going to say, with your news background, there were many elections that you were right there in the thick of it covering them, and I did the same thing as well. And I got to tell you, after a number of years, especially doing the morning show, when we would close things down at about midnight or 1 when the final results came in, and then turn around and get up an hour later to do the morning show, I don't miss it that much.
Right.
I don't miss it that much. All right, let's see what's in the hopper this morning. 24 days to Black Friday shopping. A new BBB report sees a surge in online shopping scams.
Well, the Wayne has been on vacation, so I actually been really manning the phones myself. And this report that was released last week just rang through. I took back-to-back phone calls from two individuals who both had made online purchases. Both of those purchases were made from retailers in China. And I asked that question, did you know where the business was located? And they said, well, yeah, it's in China. And then I asked that on the second call, and yes, it was from China.
Uh-huh.
Here is your problem.
Yep, I think we found your problem.
Yeah, it's in China. But what surprised me most, Riley, was that both of these individuals had read that and knew that the product was supposed to come from China. In both cases, they didn't get what they ordered. One lady was out $160 and wanted to know what she could do, and unfortunately, I have to tell her that there is little to nothing that we can do, and that she's the best thing for her to do is because you've given your credit card information to someone in China is to contact your credit card company so that further debits aren't made. The same thing to the gentleman who had ordered a product for a mechanical saw, battery-operated saw, and he got a saw, but it was a hand-powered saw, worth far less than what he paid for it. So what we're looking at here is a lot of people who will be online shopping in about 24 days. Some people have already started their Christmas shopping. But the surge that we see, for instance, in 2015, Riley, there were about 13% of the people scammed, lost money online shopping. So far this year, that number is up 64%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a pretty big leap.
Right. So from 2015 to 2020, you see that online shopping is just a haven for online scams, and that we really want people to be aware that if you're going to do your shopping online, and many of us who don't particularly like going to stores will be doing our shopping online, but make sure you are dealing with retailers that you know, or truly shop locally. If you don't like big box stores, there are lots of local small businesses here in town where you can do your shopping safely in person. But if you choose to do it online, you got to be aware of who you're dealing with. And if you know that you're going to be getting a product from China, you think twice before you do that.
It's not a bad idea. You know, I clicked on the BBB report, and there's so many interesting little nuggets in there. One version, fraudsters pretend to purchase an item by sending a fake check and then asking for a refund of the accidental overpayment. By the time the victim realizes the check is bad, they've already sent funds from their account, which were good, and are gone.
Right. And the fact that that check has bounced, not only have you lost your money, you're going to have to pay for that bounced check fee as well. And it's just because you are a victim, you think your bank is going to show pity on you. They're not. You are responsible for anything that you deposit into your account, regardless of where it comes from and regardless of whether it was a scam or fraud.
So for somebody who's listening to this right now saying, okay, so what are you saying? I shouldn't order anything that comes from China?
I would say if you are ordering something that comes from China, make sure it's coming through a third party here in the States who has placed that order for you and who you can turn to and say, where is my product? Or they will be responsible for making sure that you get what it is that you ordered. If you are dealing directly with a merchant in China, you're going to be SOL.
Yep, and you go ahead and Google that if you're not sure what that means. I think it basically means...
it came up before I realized what I was about to say.
No, I've used it myself. And that's exactly a perfect description because there's really nothing anybody can do for you at that point.
That's right. So, you want to make sure that you are being careful, that you are looking for fake websites. Do your research before you buy. Use traceable transactions, and if you are making payments, that you are doing it with a credit card, preferably a credit card, and not your debit card. You have a lot more protections with a credit card as opposed to your debit card, and a lot more time to recoup a problem or dispute a problem with a credit card versus your debit card. A credit card, you have 6 months. With your debit card, you may have as little as 60 days, and in some cases, you may not realize that you have been scammed within that 60-day period. You might be out of luck.
Oh yeah, and then the true meaning of SOL comes into play right there. So let's be careful of that. What about help for small businesses reporting fraud?
Small businesses are consumers too, and scammers have targeted them as well. The Federal Trade Commission sent us a report that they have reconfigured their reporting system, reportfraud.ftc.gov, to help not just small businesses but consumers as well. But it really will impact small businesses who get calls or fall victim to scams like unordered office supplies or invoices that get paid that shouldn't have been paid, but someone wasn't aware that it never actually ordered that paper and they paid it. Well, now if you are a victim as a business and you file a report with reportfraud.ftc.gov, it doesn't take a week or two for them to get the report. When you file that report, it is instantly made available to 3,000 federal, state, and local law enforcement officers across the country. So it's an instant report, which makes it a lot easier for law enforcement to track the crime and hopefully be able to get resolution for you much more quickly.
I had read a story, I want to say within the last 60 days, about somebody out in California who was basically the check writer for their company who got an email ostensibly from their direct superior saying, you need to send a check to these people. I had forgotten to mention this in the meeting, but we bought a bunch of stuff from them and we need to pay them, so send them a check. She fires off the check gets cashed, asks the person about it at work who says, I never sent you an email. That is pretty, that is one of those things that you think, wait, I thought I was doing everything right. This is a note from my own boss saying I'm supposed to pay something. No, it didn't actually come from your boss.
That's right. And that is exactly the kind of report that you make to reportfraud.ftc.
Yeah, keep that in mind. Reportfraud.ftc.gov.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and because small businesses like consumers, they can no more afford to lose hundreds of dollars at any fell swoop than anyone else.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. $100,000, and then you're looking at, am I going to get fired over this? And, I don't know that it can happen. Somebody's going to have to pay for this, or somebody's going to have to be the example made of this. You don't want it to be you.
That's right. So if you find that you, as a business, get involved in a scam, please do report it, and hopefully they'll be able to assist you in getting your funds back. And when you file that report, according to the information we were given, you will be able to get information on what your next best steps ought to be and how you go about recouping your money.
Outstanding. The craziness of scams comes up next on our list.
Well, we talk about these all the time, and very often I'm asked the question of who does this? Who creates these scams?
Right.
Well, they're everybody. And I happened to come across a report about a woman in Tampa who made 42,000 fraudulent Amazon returns in the past 5 years.
Wow.
She, in making those returns, earned herself $100,000 in reimbursement to her name. She made all of these reimbursement claims and return claims using 32 different accounts, all in her name. She looked for and found a loophole in the process and used it for the past 5 years. I kind of chuckled when the report said that the Sheriff's Department detective said, yes, we quickly located and apprehended the suspect.
Uh-huh.
Well, it took 5 years. She had been making a whole lot of money. So it wasn't that quick. But the reason I wanted to talk about it, Riley, is because scammers are ingenious. And whatever we are doing in the marketplace, they are going to find a way to rip us off.
Yeah, circumvent the whole process that's been set up to stop them.
Right. And no matter how hard we try, this is why I so appreciate being able to talk with you, every other week here, is because there's a new scam that seems to pop up, or a scam that just becomes new, a little change here, a little change there, and they're ripping off a lot of people. But there are individuals who are very smart and who spend their time looking for ways to rip us off and rip off businesses. Now, Amazon, $100,000 to Amazon is a drop in the bucket.
Right.
However, $100,000 to some scammer, that's a year's work.
Oh, yeah. You can take the next year off and go back to scamming after a nice beach break.
That's right. And in the end here, we as consumers are all going.
Yeah, that always ends up. It always ends up being a trickle down theory on this one, and inevitably, you're the one who's going to pay the freight on this.
That's right, and another reason why we, as the Better Business Bureau and the Federal Trade Commission and the Illinois Attorney General's office, or all Attorney General's offices, spend so much time tracking these scams and reporting about these scams, so that we can hopefully make a dent in the crime and reduce the crime. It doesn't seem like that we are that successful, but in fact, it does make a difference. And even though I just reported that the amount of scams, online scamming, has increased exponentially from 2015 to 2020, there are other instances like in robocalls, for instance. Those are down for the past 3 years because are constantly reminding people that they're happening and that they should be reported. And because they are reported, scammers get caught. And those people making those robocalls get caught, and the numbers do come down. So this is one of the reasons why we talk about it so frequently. And hopefully, with your assistance, we will continue to talk about it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the service that you guys provide is invaluable. And finally, before I let you go, you had the torch, the torch entries, got torch awards. Give me the shout out on those.
Yeah, we would like people, again, to nominate your favorite business. You're a customer. There are tons of businesses here in our community who do things the right way, who treat their customers well, who treat their vendors well, who treat their employees well, who are philanthropic to charities all around our community, and they need to be recognized for what they do. And you can do that with a Torch Award, which is BBB's highest honor to local businesses. You can go to bbb.org/Chicago and click on the link Torch Awards and click on the Rockford Torch and suggest that you a business, or to make it really simple, easier for you, just give me a call at 815-963-2222, and I'll handle the process for you.
Well, that's full service right there. And it's all for really, the best of all possible reasons, and that is shining the spotlight on people who are doing things the right way.
And they certainly need to be recognized, because we often hear people, bad-mouthing a business, but most of the businesses that I know, and a lot of the business owners that I know, do things the right way. 99% of them are good, hardworking people who simply are providing a service or goods to you, and they should be recognized for it.
Absolutely should. So the number to get in touch with you for somebody who wishes to nominate and wants to have this discussion, 815-963-2222. If they want to do it online, what do they do again?
Go to bbb.org/Chicago, click on the link, Torch Awards, and then click on Rockford.
That's all there is to it. There's somebody out there who's well-deserving of these sorts of accolades. So take a couple of minutes out of your day and make their day better.
Hey, real quick, Dennis, before we let you go, I wanted to let you know that somebody called in a little bit ago and said that not only was your use of SOL non-offensive, but it was perfectly used.
See, so I agree.
Everything's fine.
Yep.
Well, thank you. I feel much better now.
I'm sure you do. Dennis, as always, we appreciate the wealth of information. We appreciate you being here for us, and you guys do so much good. Look forward to talking to you in a couple of weeks.
Thank you, Riley. You have a great week.
You too. There's Dennis Horton. He's director of the Rockford Regional Office of the Better Business Bureau. Get in touch with him at 815-963-2222.